Outpost Rush changes the whole end game for me. It's consistent, fun PvP with great rewards. Now don't get me wrong, I was enjoying New World in the main, but we all know recently there's been quite a few issues and bugs and that kind of thing, and I definitely don't want to downplay them. But Amazon really have sorted a lot of the end game concerns that I was having, and it sounds like more good stuff is actually on the way. Outpost Rush is only available if you're level 60, but it's 20v20 reasonably balanced PvP. You can sign up like on your own, or you can sign up in a group up to 4 people, and I'm not going to explain the full game mode here. I'm sure you can find that elsewhere if you need to, but it's just classic fun PvP. You need to work together with your team, position correctly with your team and that kind of thing. And yeah, there's a little bit of PvE if you're interested in that, but a lot of it is just full on PvP. You die, you respawn, and then you go straight back in. It's actually like fun gameplay that is readily available once you hit level 60. And it's actually a great way to try different builds and weapons and that kind of thing, because the rewards are quite good. Games are variable in length, but seem to be lasting between 20 and 35 minutes. There's no obviously like set answer there, but I'd say an average of 25 minutes. Gold wise, you get 360 gold for win and 274 loss. And Azov wise, you get 254 win and 175 for loss. You are also given a chest which has like items in it, and those items can increase your gear score watermark. So the gold and the Azov basically would pay for your respec if that's something you wanted to do. After 4 games, you'd be very close to having enough Azov to like spec out of the spec you were currently in, and then back to 1, say if you needed it for wars and stuff like that. Or obviously you can just pocket the gold. It's just a fun way of getting gold, and that gold is drastically changing the economy. You've probably noticed that a lot of the prices are going up. Now some of that may be due to like gold duplications and stuff like that, but this is basically making a lot of people having easy raw gold rather than having to like farm it by crafting and stuff like that. It's actually changing the economy. Prices of everything are going to go up. Now you might be thinking, I'm not level 60, that's a bit of a problem for me. Not really, because all the stuff that you gather is now worth more, so you'll actually be able to sell your items for more. So raw gold, it makes it easier to pay your taxes. I did a video a couple of days ago talking about how hard it was to pay taxes. Well, if you're level 60 and you're like can do Outpost Rush 2-3 games, you've pretty much got enough to pay your tax for a week. I personally was getting a little bit fed up with the end game. Wars were laggy, you couldn't really do expeditions because you couldn't close the corrupted portals, which meant you couldn't make the keys, and just in general crafting and leveling up your professions was quite difficult if you didn't have any gold. And basically my end game became what a lot of people's did, which was just running Shattered Mountain elite farms where you actually just run through everything and you don't kill anything, because it's actually not effective to do that because you're in such a big group and there's so many people there that when you kill the monsters you're not going to get a drop, whereas the chests and the crates and stuff like that, they give you like guaranteed items and you're not really fighting with anybody for it. But now things have just generally changed for the better. We've got consistent PvP with Outpost Rush. More gold in the economy is going to buff gathering. The Azov staff has now been fixed, so you can actually fix the portals that are tier 4 and tier 5. That then gives you the materials to make the expedition keys. And expeditions have now been confirmed to essentially guarantee you a watermark increase, which is actually leading to a problem. This is leading to the fact that people aren't spending their keys until they're higher gear score, because there's no point really wasting them as such, because actually crafting those keys is pretty damn expensive and time consuming. However, Amazon again to the rescue have said that in November they are looking to reduce the requirements for making those keys, and that's going to put expeditions back on the menu, boys. And that will just open up so much endgame potential that I'm like thrilled that Amazon are planning that. One thing I would like to see in Outpost Rush is perhaps a introduction of being able to select a role, because the games can be slightly imbalanced if you end up with like no healers, and I think that's just essentially random chance. I don't know if the game is doing any matchmaking looking at people's stats. I wouldn't guess so, but maybe I'm wrong. And I sort of hope that they do that before they introduce new content, which we know is likely coming, we don't know when. PvP arenas, you're going to hear it a lot. They're almost inevitably on the way. When that happens, I hope you can solo queue for like a ranked mode like you can't in World of Warcraft. For me, like solo queuing in a 5v5 would be fantastic. However, I would want to be able to like have the roles selected so that I'm definitely not going to end up in a team that doesn't have any healers versus one that's got 1 or 2 healers and you just get wrecked like that. But Outpost Rush has just opened up my eyes to the potential that this game has. I really enjoy Outpost Rush, and it's not like the mechanics of the game itself is all that interesting. It's really just having the combat system in that kind of PvP world. I just really enjoy it. And in the future, I sort of hope they do stuff like you can do pre-mades, like 20 versus 20. Now, I wouldn't mind if you do that on your same server. It would be good like practice between companies, but I would also like to see that maybe cross-realm. And I say that tentatively because I don't really want cross-realm for your normal play. Like, I want to recognize my company members on the other side and try and kill them, kind of thing. I don't really want to play a world where I'm just playing Joe blogs from a server that I'm never going to touch and I'm never going to see him again. That's not something I personally like, but we don't have that at the minute and I'm quite happy for it. But like 20-man pre-mades that can play across your region basically opens up like a lot of like competitive potential there. I don't want to say esports, but like for me that's sort of what it would lead itself to. It's actually that fun. I occasionally mention how cool it would be to have like a capture the flag mode, and I still stand by that. I would be a little bit apprehensive if they split the queues, because if you split the queue you end up with a situation where maybe neither of them are getting enough people to play, but I'm sure Amazon are going to think about that and not just make loads of queues that nobody's playing. But yeah, Outpost Rush has completely reinvigorated my enjoyment of the game basically. I've gone from being a bit like meh about it to being like, oh, I've got so many things I can do at the end game now. It's making the other things enjoyable because I've got the gold and the options to do it. Yeah, I can just go and buy some iron if I really need a little bit. I don't have to worry about the gold. Oh, I'm bored of gathering? Well, I'm just going to play some Outpost Rush. That's really fun. And with expeditions perhaps getting a little bit easier to get into, yeah, I'm really optimistic about the future. I am happy in New World. Now, if you like this video and you want to see more New World content, then do like this video and then subscribe to the channel. Have a most beautiful day. Goodbye.